listening community. It is my great honor to present the United States Senator Chuck Schumer.
Unexpected visitor?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President, or Marissa, who does a great job here for FLCC. I want to congratulate her, my friend, California, guest speaker. And it is truly my honor to address the members of the podium, families and friends, but most of all you, the class of 2011 FLCC. By our brave Navy SEALs, military, and our intelligence agencies. Job well done. Now, many of you have struggled to help pay for college here. Many of you are going on to other colleges as well. And if you're poor, the federal government helps you out. That's a good thing. How about the middle class? So, I wrote a law 3 years ago that says that you can take $2,500 off your taxes. You pay, or your parents, and they pay, provided to help defray the cost of tuition, provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So if you come from a family who makes below $200,000, make sure you take it off this year and next year if you go on to college. About half the people who are entitled haven't taken it off. It's $2,500 a year. That's a lot of money. And if you come from a family who makes above $200,000, God bless you. One final note to the moms and dads who are here today. I know how you feel because just 2 years ago, my wife Iris and I sat in the audience as you are, watched our daughter Jessica, just as you have, come up on the stage, take her diploma, we craned our neck to see her hand as she moved the
What if I went
from one side of the cap to the other. It was one of the greatest and proudest days of our life. And if you're like us, you think back to some more difficult times. Not all easy to be a parent. Do you remember when we rushed Jessica to the hospital before she was 1 year old with 106.5 fever? We didn't think she'd make it. Praise God, she did. Do you remember when we put her on the kindergarten bus stage 5? She ran to the back of the bus. Tears in her eyes, tears streaming down her cheeks, waving goodbye to us. And then at 2 o'clock, when I was there, she mounted on the bus happily and said, "Mommy, I came back." She told me if we were for good, she was never going to see us again. And then we remembered her as a teenager, and she didn't say much to us. When she did, we didn't understand the words she said. And then, moms, dads, and senior sons and daughters come up here on the podium and take that diploma, become an adult before your very eyes, and they couldn't have done it without you. Congratulations to our parents here. This is a great moment for you. You graduated from one of the finest community colleges, not just here in the Finger Lakes area, in upstate New York, but in our whole state and even our country. Great school, it really is. And that gives you a leg up on most of your peers. That's plus the fact that you've been born into a new world of technology. I heard Mr. Gelman mention that all these things are new to our generation. Cell phones, text messaging, Facebook, LOL, and all of that. But you're used to it. You've been born into it. It's like fish and water for you, this technology. try to find a profession you love. And if you make a couple of false starts, don't worry. It's better to keep looking until you find that if you can. It's a blessing. Let me give you my experience, which is not that unusual, but maybe it's instructive for you. First job I had when I was 14 years old. I had to help support my parents. That's when you could get working there in New York State. And it was that summer, and it was to run something called a video machine. None of you have probably ever heard of a video machine. But there was a day before Xerox machines, and to make a copy, you type on a stencil, put smelly ink on a big funky machine with rollers, and crank it. And every time you cranked it, a copy would come out. Your parents, I see, understand. In any case, that summer, I reported to work every day at 9 o'clock in a 3-foot by 3-foot room with no windows to run the machine. My friends, most of them, didn't have to work. They were going to the beach, practicing basketball. We love basketball. Although our team at Madison High School wasn't that good, our motto was, we make it small, but we're slow. But they were having a good time, and I would get to work at 9 that summer. Started cranking the machine. 9:15, 9:30, 9:45. By 10 o'clock, I promised myself in that little small windowless room that I would try to get a job where I wasn't bored. When I went to college, I thought I'd major in chemistry. I could give the chemistry says give the child. I liked it. I did pretty well when I studied chemistry. So I took chemistry. Now, for any of you who've taken chemistry, particularly taking organic chemistry, see, that's how I do it. They give you these experiments to do. They're like 50 steps. But if you mess up step 45, you don't go back to 44, you go back to 1. This is the big one, the last one in the class. And I knew it would take a long time. So I went to the lab right after lunch, I brought back in, tried to start working. Well, I couldn't get the darn thing to work. 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, all my peers, all my classmates, they were doing fine, I wasn't. 6 o'clock, each back in. 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, midnight, still can't get it to work. I say, oh boy, because if you didn't do it right, you know what is our place. So I'm going to plump chemistry. 4 a.m., finally, 5:30 in the morning, the sun was rising. Green chemical turned to blue, that meant the experiment was successful. For a minute I felt good. There were no people. And I had to think, I knew at that moment I shouldn't be a scientist because I like people who solitary life in the laboratory wasn't for me. I also wondered maybe I wasn't smart enough to be a kid. So I went to another profession, free law. I bring in laws with people on the way. I did free law and then I went to law school. Between the second and third year, for those of you who may go to law school, you work for a law firm. I got a great offer. Big fancy firm, $400 a week is what they were paying me. More money than my family had ever seen. I was pushing a pencil for somebody I didn't know. I thought if I met the person, given what I read about him, I wouldn't like him very much. This is very nice. And I was doing deep, boring legal research. My father hated his job. He was an exterminator. My sister once said the Father's Day card that said, Dad was the only family that associates the smell of DDT with love. He comes from home that work, they would call it chemicals. But every Sunday night, my brother, sister, and I would hear him pacing the floor. Because he knew he was working on the oil. And I decided I shouldn't do it. So on the way home from law school graduation, I told my parents I was not going to join this fancy law firm. I was going to do what I really loved. I worked in campaigns, I love politics. I was going to take a long shot. I run for the New York State Senate at age 23. And my parents were shocked. My mother was going to take me to if they had struggled to help me get through college and law school. To them, $400 a week, that was heavy. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to go something I wanted. So that fall, I ran for the my job. So, after this conclusion, I've learned through the years that there are two tests in life that are much more important than any test we've taken here at FLCC. I call them the Monday morning test, Friday afternoon. You wake up Monday morning, feel the pit of your stomach, you want to go to work. When you go home Friday afternoon to your family, you say, I can't wait to go home. You can say yes to both those tests. God has been good to you. You can't complain. Class of 2011, it is my hope, it is my prayer, indeed, it is my confidence that you pass those two tests with flying colors. Congratulations, good luck, Godspeed.